Happy birthday if it's your birthday, happy belated birthday if it's in the past, happy future birthday if it's in the future. My name is Lime Green, and welcome to the Out of Time podcast, the podcast where I play games that you, the viewer, suggest that I've never played before playing. And last time it was Five Nights at Freddy's. The time before it was Ocarina of Time. So bit of a Zelda pattern, horror pattern, I guess. I don't know. This time it's Majora's Mask. With Ocarina of Time, I played up to every dungeon, and then I shared my experiences. But Majora's Mask, it's a bit it's a bit different. People say it's one of their favorite Legend of Zelda games. It's also, I believe, one of the quickest turnarounds because it was made in the same engine in Ocarina of Time. Only made in a couple of months. So, I guess we'll just jump into it. I should say, I'm playing the remake on 3DS. Because, I don't know. I own the original on Wii U, but, you know, Wii U, am I right? Oh, I'm alright. My experiences playing the game beforehand, I wasn't sure how far I got before. I only got up to, was it observatory, and talked to the the Merlin looking guy, and you know, I got the moon tier, and I thought I got further than that. I guess I didn't, because I definitely don't remember getting the ocarina or whatever. But we'll jump into it here. So it starts off with Link riding through the forest. It's kind of foggy, and then suddenly two fairies, Tattle and Tail, I believe, they scare Epona, and Skullkid grabs the Ocarina of Time off of Link and just starts playing it, and then he rides off on Epona with Link, you know, what do you say, holding on. And first off, that there is a couple questions I already immediately have. Like, one, where was Link going? Like, I'll come back to this, but he wasn't going to Termina Field. He was just walking around in a forest. Two, why is, I guess, you know, Skullkid's a prankster, but was he targeting Link specifically? You know, why did he go after the Ocarina and Epona? You know, is that just his prankster self? I'm not sure. And you fall into, you know, a little tree thing. Link does like crazy flips. It's crazy. Or you do the crazy flips. You fall down a tree. There's like hallucinations, or I don't know, imagery, and then he turns Link into a Deku Scrub, and then he retreats with Tail, and the door closes, and Tattle apparently can't follow fast enough. I'm not sure, it's weird. And Tattle joins up with you because you're there. And immediately I'm like, whoa, Tattle's kind of like Goombella. Because Navi wouldn't really give you hints. Should give you hints, but not really go in depth. But Tattle goes, "Hey, this is what you need to do." You know? She does the same thing where she goes, "Hey, you gotta do this." But she also, I feel, is more helpful. I don't feel like that's a hot take. Then you go through a little area about the, how to control yourself in the Deku Scrub form. That's fun. Back in the Smash 4 days, before we knew it was called Smash Brothers 3DS and Smash Brothers for Wii U, everyone wanted young Link to have different masks. The Deku mask, Goron mask, and Zora mask. Swap in between them like Pokemon Trainer. So I know a fair bit about this game. And I knew beforehand, Deku Link could shoot bubbles and spin. I didn't know about the wooden shield, the nut shield. And I know Goron Link can roll up, and maybe Zora Link can slash with his pins. But besides that, I don't really know about the other masks. So you meet the Happy Mask salesman, and he says he can turn Link back to normal if he gets Majora's Mask back within 3 days. And Tattle apparently knows the mask salesman. Tingle is in this game. I believe this is his debut appearance? ? He can sell you maps. The Great Fairy is a bunch of small fairies. There's jugglers. Strange notes I've written down. I followed the postman for a bit, and then I found one of the bombers, and they said that the ferry was in Southern Clocktown. So, you go there, and then it's a little thing floating above the pool. In the laundry pool. I thought that was a funny name, like a Pikmin area. And if you ring the bell for the business with the curiosity shop, someone in a Keaton mask comes out, and you can't talk to them or interact with them in any way. They just open the door and go back inside. It's a frog over there. And then that was pretty much the entire first day. And then this is the night of the first day. I went back to the Great Fairy. She gave me the magic meter. You can blow bubbles. There's a man on the observatory who may know of Skull Kid's whereabouts. So I doubled back. There's the phonograph man. I was like, whoa. There's a lot of people from Ocarina of Time slipped in doing different things. So you can't rush over to the observatory. All the bomber kids are blocking the way. So you need to get the password. So immediately there's one right behind the tree. There's two kids in the crates. And then there's like one running around somewhere. And this clock town is kind of confusing to me. I think this is a nice warm up to get you acclimated with learning Clock Town, because I could always find 4 of them. So I found the 4 of them, and the night ended. I'm like, oh geez, I'm starting to sweat. And then here's dawn of the second day. And then I found 4 bombers again. And I'm like, where's this 5th embalmer? And the 5th one is like way up on the platform. You have to go into the Deku leaf thing and shoot yourself up. And the password was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just go along, and it's like a little tunnel thing. There's a Skulltula, I guess. Then at the other end of the tunnel, there's a scarecrow from Ocarina of Time. He's like, you want to dance? I'm like, sure. And he dances away the rest of the day. And now I'm like, whoa, what are you doing to me, Scarecrow? You are wasting my time. Now we're on the dawn of the final day. Went up, talked to the astronomer or whatever he is, Merlin, and he's like, look at this ruffian on top of the clock tower. And you look at him, and a moon tear falls from the moon. And then you go outside, you get the moon tear, come back inside. Or what I did is I went outside, got the moon tear. I'm like, alright, well, where do I go now? I think that's where I gave up originally. You have to go all the way back through the passage. And it's so stressful. It's like, oh. Especially when you're on the final day. And then I looked this up because I wasn't sure what to do with the moon tier, and it was the final. I didn't look it up. I went in. I'm not sure if this is in the N64 original. I looked it up in the guide, in the like little Sheikah stone thing next to the Happy Mask Salesman. You just crawl inside, and then it's like you have to use the moon tier on the thing, and it's like, whoa. So you then have to enter Clock Town or Clock Tower with a few minutes left. So I just stood there, and you wouldn't expect them to give you a reprieve. I thought once it just hits the end, then that's it. But there's a couple minutes left. You go up there, and Skull Kid's just floating there with the ocarina, and then Tail just says swamp, mountain, ocean, canyon. Hurry, the 4 who are there, bring them here. And then Skull Kid hits Tail, and then it's like, whoa. So you hit Skull Kid with a bubble, pick up the ocarina, and then you remember Zelda and the Song of Time. Zelda's like, this reminds me of us. And then the game's like, this song lingering on the edges of your mind is a song of your memories of Zelda. So My question is, here's another thing to ponder. Up until now, did Link, well, up until this point and after, since he was turned into a Deku Scrub and until this point, did he just forget all of his Ocarina of Time experiences, and then when he played the Song of Time he remembered everything? I don't know. Is that what they're getting at? And then the Goss of Time helps us out when we play the Song of Time. And then I put where was Link heading to before Majora's Mask? I'm not sure. So then you talk to Happy Mask Salesman and he's like, whoa, you have your ocarina, here's the Song of Healing. And then you play it and then you just take off the Deku mask. It becomes a mask. And then he says the Majora's Mask is from an ancient tribe used in hexing rituals. The evil, wicked power bestowed on one who wears the mask, and is sealed away in the shadow forever. But he somehow found it and had it, and he can sense its power, and he believes in Link. So in the 3DS, this I know for certain, he gives me the Bomber's Notebook, and I know because I was reading a guide alongside. I wasn't intensely reading the guide, just like making sure I was going on the right path here. But in the original, you do not get the Bomber's Notebook from the Happy Mask Salesman. You get it from the Bombers, which makes a million more sense. I'm not sure why they changed it. You originally get it because you say their password back to them, and maybe they didn't want anyone to miss it. I'm not sure. And then I found out by talking to one of the Bombers, you get something good if you go to the Swordsman's School. I haven't found the Swordsman's School. And then Scattered, you talk to the Great Fairy. Scattered throughout 4 temples, or 4 more Great Fairies. She gives you the Great Fairy's Mask, which lets the Scattered Fairies come to you. I gave the Moon Tear to the Deku Scrub again. And then you go out to Termina Field. And then I thought this was funny. There's a road called Milk Road, which leads into Milk Village, which leads into Romani Ranch. But by the time I got there, there's like a bunch of boulders blocking the way, so I couldn't really go there. And then there's another place called Gorman Track, home of horseback riding experts. So I didn't want to go that way because I don't even have a horse. And then, so I went the other way, and there's a tree drawing that Tattle and Tail and Skull Kid all drew, and Tattle said he was always playing tricks, so nobody wanted to play with him, and we kind of like got some insight into how they met Skull Kid. And then we saw like how Skull Kid got Majora's Mask, and I was wondering, like, did Skull Kid take Majora's Mask when he was sleeping? Or did that look like he knocked out the Happy Mask Salesman? What kind of prank was that? I'm not sure. So we continue along. The owl, Kapora, is back. And he says he put out the statues that we've been saving at. How did an owl put out stone statues? I would like to know. He teaches us the Song of Soaring. And he's like... what does he say specifically? He says, now you can remember me as a good friend. So that right there makes me think he remembers Ocarina of Time because we just met, bro. So I started a list of people that probably remember Ocarina of Time, which includes Happy Mask Salesman, Skull Kid, and Kapora. I put a question mark next to Skull Kid because he might not remember. I don't know. Well, we got him into the mask loving business in Ocarina of Time. So he probably remembers Ocarina. Okay, so you continue along. I got Deku Nut, got a Deku stick, and then there's a swamp boat tour, but there's a monster, so you can't do it. And then there's swamp fishing, swamp shooting gallery. Everything's a swamp in this swamp. The swamp's shooting gallery is only open the second day and the final day. And then there's a Deku scrub doing business, trying to sell magic beans next to the boat tour. And that might be the same Deku scrub that owns the house, or owns the bush in Clock Town. And then you carry along your merry way, and then there's the two witches that make up Twin Rova in the swamp up ahead. And it's like, what? I thought you were dead. So this kind of conflicts with my... this is a sequel to Ocarina of Time theory immediately. So I'm not really sure what to think. You go into the Woods of Mystery. It says, beware of ferocious turtles. That's a sentence. At this point, I made my way up to Kume, and she's like, do you have anything to drink or to heal me? And I'm like, I have some Deku nuts. And that was basically it. And the potion shop was empty, so I was like, it's probably like you gotta be there on a certain day or something. So I reversed time all the way back to the beginning, and it was good attention to detail because you get to see your items go back to 0. I found the town shooting gallery. Found a Goron that checks in on the afternoon of the first day of the Stockpot Inn. The Rosa sisters are practicing a dance with the phonograph man. And I was right. The potion shop only exists on the first day. So, you talk to the lady in the, what did I put? Mysterious Woods of Mystery. And then you double back to the thing, get a potion, give it to her. And then she said she works the swamp tour. You got a Picto Box, ride the swamp tour, run over the big octo from Jabu Jabu's belly, which, if you remember my failings at fighting Big Octo, that was probably the best part of the whole swamp tour. I took a bunch of pictures in the swamp tour. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna use those for. of like a beehive or a monkey or something, I don't know. And then at the end, there's a monkey, and he says his brother's in the palace, the Deku Palace. And that's where I'm at. So I wrote like 3 pages of notes, and I didn't want to enter the palace without putting this out. I don't know. I want to save that for next time so I can relay all my thoughts and whatever. Because I felt like this was a substantial update. So what happened so far? There was a lot. Well, first 3 days, that was scary. Because I felt like I was always on the verge of losing all my progress. But once you get past that, it's like, whoa. I feel very relieved now because I could just warp to my owl statue and save. Or just reverse time. Apparently this game only has a couple dungeons. This is probably gonna be... I don't think it's gonna be a short playthrough. Because there's a lot in the Bomber's Notebook. I think it's gonna be deceptively short. Well, I forgot. I used to do, like, guessing what item do we get in the Deku Palace. I don't think we're getting a slingshot in the Deku Palace. I believe they're going to mix it up. Give us the boomerang. I feel like if they gave us the slingshot or something similar, that would be, you know, treading the same path or something. Treading the same waters. I don't know, I feel like boomerang is a safe bet. But what did you think of the first couple days in Majora's Mask? What did you think of, I don't know, the Deku Palace and the Moon Tears and Termina Field in general? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time where we do who knows what. Maybe Deku Palace is even a palace. Maybe it's just like a place I walk around and get cool things. It's just gonna be like a thing in Skyrim where they say, dragons? In Skyrim? Unheard of. I don't know. Who knows what's in the Deku Palace? See ya next time.